Every season we see new players enter the playoffs and also returning faces. In the first 6 seasons, we saw a total of 39 unique players play, and 4 new players this season makes that 43. We also have 12 returning runners, and for 4 of them, it's their 7th playoffs. All 12 of our returning runners have a combined 51 seasons of experience in the playoffs. Our new players have a challenge ahead of them. Apart from Season 1, players in their first season of playoffs have only reached the semifinals 3 times and have never won. However, we could see that change this season. As for the players with playoff history, we see all 4 previous champions come back to try and win again, and we also have many others who have seen the podium. However, none of these players have seen as much success as Loki, who has not only won playoffs 3 times, but has also won more matches and seeds than anyone else. He's not the only consistently insane player though, with many players right behind him. But to understand just how dominant the top players are, think of this. If you picked a random seed played in the first 6 playoffs, there's over a 20% chance it was won by either Loki or Dougal. Another fun fact about these two is that they're the only 2 players to have won a match by forfeit, which is understandable considering how scary they are. Our top 6 runners have won over half of the seeds in playoffs, and have a combined total of 15 top 3 finishes. These are the fastest and most consistent runners in the playoffs so far, but just how fast have they been going? A very common way to measure a player's skill in ranked is through average time. We can also use this stat to show how players have improved since the beginning of playoffs. Nowadays, it is common to see top players have sub 10 averages and sometimes even sub 930. But in Season 1, many top players had averages in the 12 to 13 minute ranges during the regular season. Similarly, the average in playoffs was 12:06. We've come a very long way since then though, and each playoffs the average time has been lowered, all the way down to last season where it hit 9:09, and we even saw a sub 7 in playoffs. On the other end of the spectrum, we've seen some very slow runs. You probably remember the Desert Toolsmith seed from Season 5, but there have been even slower runs. That seed featured numerous deaths from Hax and Doog, but the slowest seed ever only had 1 death. In Season 2, Loki and Quist faced off in the semifinals, and a combination of a lava housing and a stronghold nav mishap led Loki to finish in 21 minutes and 18 seconds, without dying once. If we just look at the average time though, we see a constant improvement between seasons, but one season stands out. Between Seasons 3 and 4, the average playoff time decreased by 84 seconds. Many factors probably contributed to this improvement, but one statistic stands out as a reason for this. The end fight is a crucial part of any ranked match, and the players have always had options for how they can kill the dragon. In the first season, most matches ended with a perch and 1 cycle. However, as the seasons went on, we saw a steady increase in 0 cycles until Season 4, where they skyrocketed above 1 cycles. Zeros offer the opportunity for faster end fights, but more importantly, more consistent end fights, which explains why the average dropped so much. Since then, 0 cycles have been essential to win almost any ranked match, especially in playoffs when the matches are so close. How close are these matches though? Well, we can't measure the amount of time the losing runner would have finished in, but we can see how far into the run they were when they lost. It turns out, most playoffs matches are extremely close, with over 60% of matches having both players reach the end, and even 10% of matches having both players kill the dragon. If your opponent is going to be that close to you most of the time, you can't afford to wait for a perch, which is why 0 cycles are so crucial and why we saw 80% of matches being won with them last season.